science and engineering students and faculty are by far my favorite. So I really do enjoy answering questions and going over information, and I really look forward to assisting all of you this evening.
Well, this is Rebecca Steffenson. I'm also an advisor here, and thank you again to all of you who could make it this evening. Andrea, I have been in the education field for a while as well, and I enjoy being able to help others with their education. Basically, our role as an enrollment advisor is just to make sure you're a good fit for our program. The classes meet your education needs as well as your career goals and help you through the application process.
Fantastic. Well, this is Andrea again, and I'd like to just cover some information on UC Riverside as a whole. We're very proud Highlanders, and I'd like to just kind of chat with you a little bit about our history and where we all started from. So UC Riverside is a part of the University of California system. The California system was first established back in 1868, regarded as one of the top university systems in the world, and as such, all of the schools in the UC system are highly ranked. Riverside actually has a very unique history. We didn't start out as a university per se. We were in 1907 as an agricultural facility supported by the state of California to address some agricultural issues that were facing the state at the time. We actually began teaching courses back in 1954 in our College of Letters and Sciences. We've always had a firm hold in the place in science and engineering. I think that our roots kind of show that to you. Given our unique roots, UC Riverside is an ever-changing organism. We're constantly growing and evolving and adapting to meet the needs of our students and the community. And because of evolution, we've been able to make strides in many areas and be recognized. Money Magazine just recently recognized UC Riverside as one of the top colleges to provide the best value for your tuition dollar. In Forbes' list of top colleges, UC Riverside number 115 for research schools and number 48 in the West. UCR was also recognized as the second best university in the nation by Washington Monthly for our contribution to the public good. This takes into account our university's contribution to the public in areas of social mobility, research, and service. Additionally, we've been ranked by U.S. News and World Report at number 5 in the nation for the same reason. UC Riverside Highlanders pride themselves on giving back to the community and making a difference in our country and the world.
Andrea was mentioning UCR is a well-known university, and we take pride in conducting research within the university. So the Bourns College of Engineering celebrated 25th anniversary this year, and of course, the ranking, which objectively measures scientific impact based on research citations and collaboration worldwide. Out of the top 500 in the world, UC ranked 10th in natural sciences and engineering, 30th in the world, 20th in North America, and according to the U.S. News and World Report, UCR ranks in the top 20% of engineering schools. Yes, grad school for engineering for 2016. We're also ranked best engineering school of its size.
The main reasons we've been so successful in past and as well as our present is we've been recognized in many areas that are a direct result of our wonderful faculty and all of the research that they are committed to. We handpick the best of the best faculty here at UC Riverside to teach our online classes. I'm excited to introduce you to a few this evening. Professor Ahmed is one of the faculty in our Department of Electrical Engineering, and he's quite accomplished in his career. He really won the National Science Foundation Career Award, as well as the Best Paper Award for the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers at the Energy Society General Meeting in 2013. Faculty I'd like to introduce you to this evening would be Professor Marco, and usually interact with him if you choose the mechanical engineering specialization. Professor Marco teaches principles of fluid mechanics online as well as here at the campus. He's interested in fundamental and applied fluid mechanics research, in particular the application of fundamental turbulence concepts to studies in environmental flows. The Master of Science and Engineering program is very much a mix of technical and leadership skills. So the faculty here have a large background of technical experience, which is valuable to students in the program. Both Professor Hamed and Professor Marco are great examples of the caliber of faculty teaching the courses here at UC Riverside, the type of instructors that you'll actually be interacting with over the course of your graduate program. You can also peruse the website with detailed bios on all of our faculty, and it's actually listed by specialization, so you can find out more about their accolades and their research interests. And as before, UC Riverside has been recognized for its impact on the public good, and that is because of the tireless efforts of our faculty and their research. So while you're on the website, I recommend taking a look at the impressive research that our faculty is a part of. There are several areas of interest that they're focused in. A few just to name in the different areas are biophysics, energy systems, controlled robotics, energy processing. And here at the Bourns College of Engineering, we have a nearly 200,000 square foot laboratories and classrooms, and creative research centers here on campus to enhance the capabilities of the college by providing centers of excellence to attract funding, build expertise, and do their research missions. And addressing some of today's most important engineering problems, the centers also provide valuable opportunities for our undergraduate and graduate students to prepare for their own careers of discovery. So you're probably thinking, what makes our program different from others available? As you hear, you typically run into two different master's programs at the graduate level. A Master's of Science in Engineering degree includes concentrated coursework, typically research and theory-driven, and will only meet the requirements for admission into a PhD program. A Engineering Management degree includes real-world applicable coursework, professional development, but it will not meet the requirements for admission into a PhD. Our goal here at UC Riverside was to marry the two types of master's programs together to help engineers transform into leaders in their fields. We requested input from our faculty and those in the field, and we put it all together, a program that incorporates both the business acumen and the research and theory into one. There are several reasons why this model is so useful for our students. First is the field is ever-changing, and you have to be forward-thinking. You must have the skills to adapt and change with the field as it grows. You will in this program how to lead projects and people. And in most cases, we all lead in the field, whether it's formally or informally. You will not your future with this program. Instead, you'll leave it open to possibility. Maybe given any thought to a PhD program or research and development, but you might in 5 to 10 years, and this program will give you that option. Our Master's of Science in Engineering program here is recognized by employers and academics alike, so you really can't go wrong.
Andrea was mentioning, our program is designed to transform engineers into leaders. So our program is a total of 9 courses, and it's 36 credit hours. 6 hours are your professional core classes. So these give you opportunities to develop your leadership skills. You have 16 credit hours of specialization courses. We offer 5 specializations with focus in areas of materials at the nanoscale, mechanical engineering, engineering focusing on water systems, electrical engineering focusing on power systems, as well as bioengineering. You offer a credit capstone course where you'll be able to work with your mentor and choose a topic that fits with your career as well as what interests you. For information on the courses in a specific specialization, please reach out to one of us and we would be happy to send those to you for your review. It's also on a quarterly system, so your classes are 11 weeks long, and you can complete the program in about a year. It is sent online, and it's asynchronous, so you can learn on your own schedule. With class sizes, you have a personalized learning environment and taught by well-known faculty in the engineering community. Per credit hour is $833. Your program is about $30,000 total, and that does not include your application fee as well as books and the proctoring service throughout your classes. You do participate with Stafford loans and Graduate Plus loans, as well as payment plans, military benefits, tuition assistance. And for more information on funding, please reach out to Andrea and I. We'd be more than happy to assist you. Also offer many resources here at UCR. We aim to make your experience in our program as smooth as possible. So have more than a handful. So a couple to kind of point out that I think are the most beneficial would be our online proctoring service. So this allows you to take your exams from the comfort of your own home and available to you 24 hours a day. There's also the California Digital Library, which is only available to the UC schools. In our program or another UC program, you wouldn't have access to this, and over 2 million books and articles at your disposal. You are alumni network. So as a graduate from the University of California, Riverside, you will have the ability to connect with Highlanders across the globe who can support you in your future endeavors.
So I have some time to walk through the admissions requirements and hopefully answer some questions along the way. We're looking for the following criteria for admission: a bachelor's degree in engineering or a related field from accredited university, transcripts, GA, GRE or FE scores, TOEFL pilots for national applicants, evidence of significant professional engineering experience, professional certifications, and reference letters. As Rebecca stated previously, our role as Enrollment Advisors is to help determine if the program is a good fit for your goals. In addition, we help to assess if you would be a good fit for our program. The requirements listed here are simply a guideline of what you'll need to enter into the program. Each of the items are considered but not required for admission, so please don't get scared by having all of these in front of you. Rebecca and I have talked to many students that did not feel that they met the criteria, and after speaking with them and finding out more about their experience and skills, we were able to identify if the student would be a strong candidate for the program. And we often get similar questions in regard to admissions requirements, so I'd like to cover a few of the frequently asked questions and hopefully answer any questions that any of you might have. Many students have asked us along the way, what is the minimum GPA? We don't necessarily have a minimum GPA requirement. However, a good baseline GPA is a 3.0. It can be considered with less than a 3.0 GPA, depending on other criteria. And again, I would recommend that you reach out to your enrollment advisor and we can talk with you about this further. Also, folks are interested to find out what score is required for the GRE. Typically, we're looking for a 300 or higher on the GRE score. However, if you've taken a strong GPA and you've taken GRE and it comes in less than 300, we definitely still want to talk about your work history and really figure out if you would still be a strong candidate. Since candidates from various STEM fields, we often are asked if an MCAT, a PCAT, or a GMAT can waive the GRE requirement. And typically, the standardized test can waive that requirement. And you hear me say this time and time again, I recommend that you contact your enrollment advisor for more information. All students have wanted to know what the options are to waive the GRE entirely. And there are actually a few ways to waive the GRE requirement. One would be the successful completion of an FE, or previously known as an EIT, or EE exam. I'll waive the GRE with significant work experience in the engineering field for about 2 years or more. However, the program is highly competitive, so we recommend that you contact us to find out options based on your background because we really want you to have the strongest packet for admissions possible. In regard to the reference letters, who should be used for your recommenders? Typically, folks who have recently graduated with their undergraduate degree should use 2 professors from their undergraduate program, as well as a professional recommendation. If it's been and you've been in the field for quite some time and you don't have access to the faculty from your undergraduate degree, we do recommend 3 professional recommendations. Again, please feel free to contact your enrollment advisor to discuss your unique experience in education to help evaluate if this program would be a good fit for you. And at this time, this concludes the presentation portion of the webinar.
Thank you, Andrea. So this is the time that we will go ahead and get to your questions. So please, I know here it says type your questions into the Q&A. I will have the Q&A open, so I'll be able to see them if you would like to type your questions there, but we can also work out of the chat as well, so you can feel free to type your questions in either the chat window or the question and answer box, and we'll answer the questions on a first-come, first-served basis. If your question is not answered during our session, please don't worry. We'll get back to you. I'll have all the questions noted down, and your enrollment advisor will get back to you with an answer in a few days' time. So
we have quite a few questions that came in during the presentation, and we'll start with those and then get as far as we can get in the time that we have allotted. So we'd like to thank you all again for joining us, and also with our first question at this time. So there was a few questions regarding the time and how long, it would take to complete the degree. I know it was mentioned you can complete it in one academic year, but we had a question about a cap on how long you can take to complete the course.
That's a good, Sarah. There is a cap to finish a graduate program here with us, and that cap is actually 3 years. So we work with you to make sure that you fit in within that 3-year period of time if taking the classes in the 1 year just doesn't fit with your schedule.
Thanks, Andrea. And can you kind of elaborate on how you take your classes, like what the timeline look like?
Sure. Typically, a student will take 2 regular courses every term, as well as 1 credit of the capstone. So you're able to successfully complete the program within 1 academic year. However, in some cases, some students do need to take the program over a 2-year time span, and just depending on the situation, that would be something that you'd want to discuss with your enrollment advisors, but we'd be happy to look at options because we want it to be flexible with your work schedule.
Thank you. Our next question is regarding tuition assistance. Will graduate students be able to apply for scholarships?
I can take, or do you want to take it? Go ahead.
You can apply for scholarships. So typically you can find them on the government website, as well as for tuition assistance. Check with your work. Sometimes your workplace will offer assistance or reimbursement. You want to double check, as well as if you are applying for scholarships, just a little head up, make sure you're not entering credit card information. It might be a scam. So you want to make sure that you're not compromising in any of your financial conditions. So,
thank you. Great. Now, someone asked, I don't have experience in the field. Can I still apply? Andrea, would you like to take that one?
Sure. Professional experience is preferred in the program. You can still apply into the program with a strong GPA and strong GRE or successful completion of the FE. We're really looking for individuals who can collaborate with us and make the online experience a great one. And so, and you may say this time and time again, reach out to your enrollment advisors because we really want to look at your skill set and your experience, because we all have a different makeup in what makes us unique and what we'll bring to the program. So I recommend having that conversation even if you don't have the experience.
Thank you, Andrea. Our next question is, I'm a local to UCR. Would I be able to use UCR facilities, for example, library, labs, etc.? Andrea?
Yeah, actually, if you are local to the Riverside area, you would be welcome to using any of our resources here. The admissions process, there is a little bit additional paperwork that you have to complete so that you have access to all of those resources. But the online digital library, as well as the local libraries, would be available to you, along with professors and labs and all of that good stuff.
That's fantastic. So that's a wonderful option for individuals that are in the local area to have some support there as well. So that's great. Our next question is, what about the TOEFL or IELTS? My question is based on the fact English is not a second language. However, I've been working in Canada for 7 years and 7 months in the USA. Rebecca, what do you think?
So what you'll do is, if your undergrad program was in English, it's something that you do not have to take. If it wasn't taught in English, it's something that you would have to take. Again, reach out to Andrea or myself, and we can clarify on a case-by-case basis.
So, Rebecca, our next question, how much access will I have to my professors? Do you want to take that?
Sure. So to kind of bounce off of the question earlier about being local to UCR, even if you are a distance learner and you're somewhere else, you still do have access to many of the resources available to our students here locally. Our professors will have office hours. They also have graduate assistants and DAs that will be available to answer questions. You will have access to a financial aid advisor and a student success coach and your enrollment advisor to support you while you're going through the process. We want everybody to feel as connected as if you were sitting here in the seats with us. We want you to be able to ask questions and get the information you're looking for.
Thank you, Andrea. Our question, is the online degree mentioned on the diploma at the end, or is there no difference between the online or on-campus degree? Rebecca, can you speak to that?
Yeah, definitely. So our online program is actually mirrored from the campus. So your lectures are going to be recorded. You'll be able to watch those, as well as your exam, like your midterm, your final. They're all going to be based for campus. So there's really not a big difference except for it's a little bit more convenient. You don't have to drive there, try to find parking, find a seat. You can, when you get home, you still have time with your family. As far as at the end, when you do receive your degree, the diploma will say Master's of Science in Engineering. It won't say online, and then your transcripts are going to say Master's of Science in Engineering, and that's when it's going to say your specialization. So that's the only difference, but it does not mention that you took your classes online.
Thank you, Rebecca. Our next question, do you accept transfer credits? How long ago can the credits have been earned?
Andrea, question. Actually, with our program, it's a pretty lean program, only being 9 courses, and so we don't allow the transfer of credits. It does help to support you in your learning here, so we do recommend, again, that you talk with your enrollment advisor, but at this time, transfer of credits is not an option.
Okay. Our next question is about the application window. Is there an application date for the whole year, or is there a date for each quarter? Rebecca?
That's a really good question. So we do have application dates throughout the year for different quarters to get started. We have our fall, winter, spring, and summer quarters. And you'll want to talk to Andrea or myself again to make sure that you are in the application deadline window. Make sure you get all of your paperwork in before that deadline is over. So definitely reach out to one of us. We are here to help you with that.
Next question is actually about the project design course, the capstone course. Can someone use their boss as a mentor? Rebecca, can you speak to that?
No. So you can use your boss as a mentor. You can definitely go to your boss for advice on, what you'd like to study. But as far as a mentor, it is going to be a faculty member. You'll get to work with our program director and, kind of bounce ideas off on what exactly you want to do for your project. With that, he will be able to set you up with a faculty member that either done research or is pretty well versed in that area or the topic that you choose, and the mentor that you'll have throughout your program.
Awesome, thank you. Next question is, what is the minimum TOEFL score for international students? Andrea?
Sure. So minimum score acceptable for the program is a 550 for the written exam, 215 for the computer-based exam, and then 8 for the internet-based exam. So if you are intending on taking it or you have already taken it, please reach out to Rebecca or myself and we can make sure if it's within those acceptable scores.
Awesome, thank you. Our next question, is there a minimum of classes allowed to take? I'm a full-time employee and concerned about scheduling. So Rebecca, can you speak to that?
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure you're enrolled in at least one class. It's something that if you're not enrolled, you're not really a student. So take one class at a time if you need to. Speak with Andrea and I. We'll be able to kind of guide you, but it will be on a case-by-case basis because the program is set up to be completed in 1 year.
Thank you. Our question was actually from an individual who some technical difficulty during the presentation, and the question is the presentation recorded? And I'll go ahead and take that. Presentation is recorded. We got off for a few minutes in the beginning, but just covering the agenda. So for anyone worried, we have everything we covered that contained to print slides after the agenda is being recorded currently. So if you're having issues, you should be able to listen to the recording at your home when I send it out later this week. So no worries about that, and we'll keep moving on. But also, for those of you who did have technical difficulty, you can reach out to me personally and just let me know so I can try and make sure that I get you anything you need personally. Oh, next question. Accepted into the program, would we go to an academic advisor for class enrollment? Andrea, can you speak a little more about the process after you're accepted into the program?
Sure. So the process is actually pretty simple. You'll still be working with Rebecca and myself as you're going through getting registered for classes. We also partner with a student success coach, and they will also help to make sure that we're navigating the student portal correctly, getting you registered for the appropriate classes. You also will have an academic advisor, and the program director will be able to answer questions in regard to GPA, mentoring, any of the additional questions that you would need as far as enrolling for your classes and getting registered.
Okay, great. Now, I know we had this question a little bit earlier, but just in case, I want to make sure everyone knows, will online students be welcome at the UCR campus to go to the library and the study rooms? That is, if you are located in the UC Riverside area, you will be able to access the campus resources. So that's a wonderful opportunity for anyone located in the area.
I'd like to add that you will also be welcomed at graduation. You can plan vacation and come out with your family and graduate and come see the UC campus.
That's wonderful. That's an awesome opportunity. You know, and there's a follow-up question to that. If we are located close to campus, can we take classes on campus as well? So, Andrea, can you go ahead and talk more to that?
Sure. So the program, although it's a mirror of the campus program, is a little bit different in that the online program is focused towards working professionals. And so at campus, they do require a thesis, and they don't have the mentoring class or the capstone class there. So if you do taking the classes online, you would have to stay online to make sure that you're getting the appropriate classwork as well as support from your mentor, make sure that you're successfully able to complete your project.
Wonderful. I'm a U.S. citizen, but I graduated, I'm sorry, this is our next question. I'm a U.S. citizen, but I graduated from the University of Texas. Do I have time to take the TOEFL?
The instruction of your undergraduate program was English taught. You didn't need to take the TOEFL. However, I do recommend that you reach out to your advisor because we can talk to you more personally on this one, individualized, and get the correct answers for you.
Thank you. Next question, what is the timeline for the grad school application? Rebecca?
Yeah, so the timeline right now, we still are enrolling for our fall 2015. You have about a month. The deadline is August 24th for applications for fall. So please reach out to us if this is something you do want to get started in for fall. Andrea and I can walk you through the steps of the application as well as what you'll need and advise you on any questions or concerns that come up.
Thank you, Rebecca. This question is one that we sometimes get actually. So can I pick more than one area of specialization? Andrea, I'd like to pass that over to you.
Sure. So typically, the program itself is a pretty full program. However, we have had students look into doing multiple specializations, and it can be done on a case-by-case situation. So that's something that we would work with the admissions committee, and we would make sure that you had the appropriate classes, that you weren't repeating anything that you didn't need, to make sure that you had additional capstones because you will need to complete capstones for each specialization. It can be done. Obviously, it's going to extend the period of time for graduation, but it can be something that is done on a case-by-case situation.
Thank you. It's nice that there is that flexibility if you're able to speak to someone who can help you on a case-by-case situation, like Andrea mentioned. Our question, do we need to write a thesis? Rebecca?
No, so we don't have a thesis in our program. We do have a capstone class, or it's called the Project Design course. You will have a literature review to write, as well as that's when you're going to be working with your mentor. You get to pick a topic that you're interested in, and you'll be able to work closely with them throughout the year. And that's when you're going to do your literature review, as well as, a presentation or whatever you and your mentor come up with.
Thanks. Someone would like us to recover costs, which is totally fine. I'd like to throw that to Andrea to talk a little bit more about.
Sure. So we have a pretty easy fee structure. Tuition, books, proctoring, and an application fee. So the tuition here is $8.33 a credit hour. The program is 36 credit hours. So you're looking at roughly about $29,800 for tuition. Book proctoring will obviously vary depending on the course. You're typically looking at a couple $100 for each course. And then the application fee is $80 for domestic students, $100 for international students.
Okay, thank you. Is there a thesis option in order to graduate faster? That's our next question.
So no, there is not a thesis option in order to graduate faster. Andrea was mentioned earlier, it is a pretty lean program. You can complete it in about a year, and that would be taking your classes as well as a 1-credit capstone class. So really, once you're done taking all your other classes, if you continue a capstone class each quarter, you finish in that year. So it wouldn't be something where it extends out past the length of all the other classes you'd be taking.
Rebecca. Our question, I would like to know if there would be any industry-related networking opportunities during or after the program. Andrea?
Sure, you bet. There are definitely networking opportunities. Typically, the students that are in the program are going to be working professionals, so they are in the field, including, working with others that are in the field as well. You will have the individuals that are teaching the courses, as well as the folks that are going through the campus. At the end of all of it, you guys are all a part of the same alumni network, and you have access to each other. So Highlanders like to help Highlanders, and that's something where we try to stay connected and make sure that you all have access to the alumni.
Thank you, Andrea. Our next question is, what is the graduation rate for the program? Rebecca?
So this program is fairly new. It's been around for about a year and a half. Andrea and I like to joke that it's at 100% right now. But really, it is too new to really have a graduation rate. Hopefully, in the next few years, we'll be able to have some numbers for you. But unfortunately, right now, we don't have anything for graduation rates for our online program.
Thank you. Our next question is again about the project design course. So are the mentors professors from UCR? Andrea?
Yes, the mentors will be professors from UCR. So you have opportunity, like I mentioned earlier, to go over the website and look at the faculty bios, because you really find what their research interests are and kind of team up with the faculty that's going to meet your interests as well. So we recommend doing a little bit of research on the end of it to find the person that you would like to partner with.
Thank you. Our next question, depending on our engineering background, are there remedial courses? Rebecca?
There are no remedial courses or prerequisites for the program. You do have certain requirements to get into the program, like Andrea mentioned earlier. As far as getting into the different specializations, maybe you want to switch from mechanical into bioengineering, or vice versa. There's not going to be any extra classes that you have to take. The biggest thing that I like to tell my students is that if you are switching into something that you're not as familiar with, maybe plan a little bit more time, because it might not come as easy to you as something that you've been working in the field with or that you got your undergrad in. As far as prerequisites or remedial courses, there are none.
All right, we have a good question here. how does this online degree stand up to more traditional engineering degrees in the career field? Andrea, do you want to take that one?
Sure. So that's a good question. Again, the online program is a mirror image of the campus program. The only difference is the capstone requirement. So the Bourns College of Engineering has been around for 25 years, and it has been ranked pretty high in some areas. So I pat ourselves on the back, but we do have a pretty solid program here to help you get to the next level. And we think it's pretty unique in the fact that it marries the two, the engineering management and the Masters of Science in Engineering program. And I think that you could really leverage that in the workplace.
Thank you, Andrea. All right, we have a question here about the time period. So are the quarter time periods the same as the regular UC system? Are there summer courses? Can you speak to that a little bit more, Rebecca?
Yeah, definitely. So we are based off of the campus program, so you still have your quarterly classes, so they're 11 weeks long. We do have our fall, winter, spring, and summer. Fall starts at typically September. Your winter quarter is typically January, and then you also have spring, which is around March, and summer in June. We offer summer courses. It is part of your program. But yes, we do follow the quarterly system from the campus program.
Thank you. Our next question is about lifestyle and how this might affect your lifestyle, your current time that you have. So approximately how many hours per week could I expect to spend watching lectures and studying? Andrea?
Sure. So, that's a very individual number, and it's just based on your skill level and your prior knowledge in that course that you're working on, and also your study habits. It depends on if you're studying 100% or if you're studying at 80%. It kind of varies as far as how much time you're going to be putting into it. We would typically say about 15 to 20 hours per week per class would be a good number. But again, it's a very individual number. It kind of goes back to your study habits. Lectures will vary depending on the professors. So each class is going to be a little bit different, and it's obviously going to be different for each student.
Very much. Our question, are there labs in the program? Rebecca?
Our program does not have any labs. It will be completely online, like stated earlier. So you have to go into the campus. Everything can be done online.
Thank you so much. I would like to conclude our presentation for the evening. I know we've had a few other questions come in, and we'll work on getting answers for those of you who didn't get questions responded directly. We'd like to thank you so much for attending tonight and taking time out of your busy schedules. And we hope that you got some information that you didn't have previously from the webinar. I will be sending out the recording, so if you did have any technical issues, we will get that over to you as soon as we can. Otherwise, I would like to thank Andrea and Rebecca for their wonderful presentations, answering all of your questions. And I'd like to thank all of you for coming. We're very excited to have you here, and we hope to speak with you again soon. You can see that there's a phone number here as well as an email if you'd like to get in contact with your enrollment advisor or ask any further questions. Please feel free to use that information there and take that down. Again, I'd like to wish you a wonderful evening, and we'll hopefully be talking with you soon. Have a great night.